So you may ask, why should I build my own AR-15 when I can buy one at a store, at a gun store, online? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. I'm going to go over some of the reasons here while I show you my most recent AR build. I started building ARs in 2008. Actually bought a LaRue tactical upper and a POF USA lower and bought the parts for the lower and put the whole thing together. So it's kind of my first build. I didn't build the complete thing from scratch in different parts, but that was my foray into AR building, and it was a blast. I loved it. And I ended up selling that for a profit back then when gun prices were going crazy, and kind of got the bug. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I guess that's the first reason. It's a ton of fun, especially if you're into guns and into ARs. This is something that you'll thoroughly enjoy. And over the years, I've built, I don't know, maybe about 10 complete ARs and maybe a few uppers on top of that. And every time I enjoy it. It's been a few years since I built my last one, but this brought me back. Thoroughly loved it. And I got to share it with friends and family. So we built this on Thanksgiving Day while we're watching football, so I've muted the videos so it doesn't get pulled by YouTube because of the football game in the background. Anyways, this AR, I started collecting parts back in June or July, and it was kind of a gift to myself, getting out of the military gift. So the upper receiver and lower receiver and rail are Aero Precision Builder Set, multi-camish looking hydro dip pattern. Got this at a local gun store for relatively cheap. And I love Aero Precision. It's kind of near where I'm from, so it's supporting a local business. But also, I've seen some Aero stuff in the past and think they're pretty decent quality for the price. So for the engine, I bought a Bravo Company barrel and gas block and gas tube came in a package, and matched that with a Bravo Company bolt carrier group and also Bravo Company charging handle. So that'll be the main components of the build, the most important things. And Bravo Company, as you know, is great quality and pretty decent price. So the first reason to build your own AR is to have fun. It's a blast. Second reason, I think, is you learn a lot about your rifle. Not only your rifle, but you learn a lot about the AR and the AR system and how it functions. And the more you build, the more you learn. And it's really cool being able to share this knowledge with my son as he's getting old enough and try to teach him how to be responsible with guns and how to build them. And also teaching other people and sharing that knowledge. So I won't do a whole tutorial this time on how to build this specific AR, just because that's a lot of work, and also YouTube generally doesn't like those videos and often pulls them. I've had a lot of my most highly viewed videos pulled in the past and channel demonetized because of that. So you can see in this video, you will need some tools. We have a torque wrench right here, and we're torquing it to spec according to the instructions. The actual barrel nut wrench came with the builder set. Often different builders will include a barrel nut wrench for their specific barrel nut. The other thing you'll need is some sort of AR-15 block like what we have here in the vise, just to hold your upper while you're working on it. Other specific tools you don't necessarily need, although it may make your life easier, as we'll see later. So third reason to build your own AR. Well, first, it's fun. Second, you learn a lot. But third is you can personalize it. And you can personalize just about everything. The furniture you put on it, your barrel length. This is a 16-inch barrel. Barrel profile, that's another huge one. Your gas system length, whether you want it carbine or mid-length or rifle length. You can customize your rail, also the rail length. If you want a front sight base, or you just want a rail that runs all the way to end like this one. The rail on this one's 15 inches, so it goes right to the end of that 16-inch barrel. And like what kind of rail? If you want a quad rail or key mod or whatever you want. Also, you can get iron sights, or you can customize your own trigger and fire control group. So there's just a ton of different things that you can customize for your preferences and build the exact gun you want. Because we all end up customizing our gun after we buy it. Whether if you buy it from a factory or from a gun store, often you go and you change out the furniture, or you cut this or that, or change out something on it for something else. But if you build your own gun, you can get every single individual piece and make it exactly like you want. So that's the huge, I think probably the biggest benefit to building your own rifle. After we finished mounting the rail, every rail is different, every rail system attachment is different, but all involve some sort of clamp system. But after attaching the rail, now it's time to put the end cap on. For this, I chose a Surefire muzzle brake. I may use this for competitions in the future, but I also wanted something to be able to mount a suppressor to, and hopefully in the future I'll get a Surefire suppressor. So this was a little bit forward thinking in the build. This was interesting, the shims and different things. You do need to time this brake so that up is up and down is down, essentially. And they even have it so you can time it for right-handed or left-handed shooters too. Kind of interesting in its setup, but the instructions are pretty thorough that come with the brake. So you should build your own AR-15 because it's fun. You learn a lot about your rifle. You can customize it and personalize it exactly how you want it. But I think fourth, depending on how you do it, and if you do it right, it can be cheaper overall. You do have to buy all the parts separately. You do have to do a lot of research beforehand, but if you wait and time it right, Thanksgiving sales and other sales, you can often get the parts you need over time, and collectively the cost could be cheaper. Not all the time, because sometimes you get full rifles that go on ridiculous sales and you can get those cheaper, but often again with those you end up stripping a lot of the stuff off and not using it and putting your own stuff on. So again, depending on how you do it, it may be cheaper.
Like, I have like a magnetic wand that would just...
Yeah.
This is great, because I'm learning things that I'm going to use when I do a build. It's like, there's no way to drop it in.
So another, did you get it?
So close.
Another way you can do it is lay it on the side and kind of slide it in. But
no way it's gonna do
take
that.
manipulation with the
Screwdriver.
oh.
Oh, I see
Push
it.
the tip
Oh,
of it.
never
I
mind.
think that's going to work.
You don't think so?
Oh!
What?
This is what we call trial and error.
So the upper receiver is probably the easier part of the build. After that, you get to the low receiver, and it can be tricky. And this is where having the right tools can often help you make it a lot easier. If you had some sort of block to put it in your vise and mount it there, it'd probably help with some of the little parts, getting them through the holes. Also, if you had the right long Allen wrenches and the right size punches, all of that would help and take a little bit of the stress out of building the lower receiver. So for this lower receiver, I used Aero Precision lower parts kit that did not include the grip or the fire control group, because I already knew I was going to use the Magpul grip and a Geisley trigger. And again, this is not a full instructional on how to build a lower receiver. This is where I got in trouble with YouTube before. So please, YouTube, this is just showing generalities. Please don't delete the video. Thank you. Get it? Nice. Yep, and then you just line it up with the side on the lower. And with that, you can just push the trigger so I don't use a little bit. Nice.
Oh.
Good job, dude.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. Dude, I can't tell you how many times that was like, took me forever, and I finally got it, and I was like, ah!
I want to get up and do a little happy dance or something like that.
Make sure the bolt's all the way forward. So the way you do that is like this. Do it like this and go. Okay.
Ooh. Interesting. push it.
Push both of them forward. Good.
There you go.
Good job, bud.
Okay.
Got them both in?
When the front one's done, you can go like this.
Alright.
Okay. Push that last one in.
Oh, look at that bad boy.
Oh man.
Yes.
Ooh, that's the
Yes.
magic.
What does that do?
He's just checking the reset.
Trigger reset. That's sweet.
Just a click, a good part.
Fires. Back on safe.
So you should build your own AR because it's fun. You learn a lot about your rifle. You can personalize it and customize it exactly how you want to. It can be cheaper if you do it right, but I think probably the last thing is it just works. As long as you do your research and put all your parts together like they should, it can work like a dream. So after that, now this rifle has had about 500 rounds through it at this point and has been flawless, no malfunctions yet. I did lube it before we went out. Haven't cleaned it yet, but functions beautifully.
Okay, hold on.
So enjoy.
Stay here with me, okay?
Fun.